Hey guys, welcome to another week of Beyond Technical. Last week didn't end up having an episode, which is probably going to start happening a little more often lately. Life's going to get a little busier for me, and I started this show originally as a brand new player to fighting games in general. I'd played a lot of games at kind of like a higher level. I'd played in a lot of tournaments. I competed on streams and things like that. So I had a lot of experience playing competitive games. I'd never actually played any competitive fighting games. So that was kind of the original basis behind the show. Was you can find out news from the top players all over the place, but where's the bridge for the new guy? Like where do you start if you haven't been playing for 1 to 10 years, whatever. And I'm kind of personally feeling like I'm running out of gusto for the show. Like I'm now kind of in the middle. I'm not that new guy anymore trying to tell you all the stuff I've found out in the last few weeks. I'm kind of that guy that's going to struggle for the next 6 months before he kind of sees any improvement in his game. And I've been going out to local play. I'm still going to try and attend some tournaments and things like that. But you might see that the show slows down a little bit or becomes a little bit less scheduled and organized. So I'm just giving you guys a heads up. And hey, it's a free web show where I sit on my couch and talk about games and play a little bit. So can't be too upset, right guys? So this week, though, I was just playing a little bit of Street Fighter this morning, and I was thinking, you know what? One of the big things I've recognized lately is damage optimization. So I figured we'd just show you that really quickly, and maybe play a match or something like that to kind of wrap things up. But let's first talk about damage optimization. Now, my character, obviously, is Balrog, and or Boxer, depending on what you want to call him. And Boxer, he's got a really nice and easy to do, bread and butter combo. Light punch, light kick, headbutt. Now, I used to use that all the time. And if you go back and watch some of my older videos, you'll see me pulling this off all the time. And it's not too bad. It's a decent combo. Damage is all right, and it's easy to pull off. However, I'm going to teach you guys not just about Balrog, but about your characters as well. You kind of need to figure out a lot of your combos. So this is getting a little bit more advanced than kind of the really beginner stuff I usually try and cover, but I guess that's kind of where I'm progressing, so I'm going to show you guys that kind of stuff as I go along as well. As I said, the whole point of the show is to teach you what I learn as I go, so here's what I've been doing this week. So now we've got, just Dan to punch, and this is really important to check out the damage, combo damage, max combo, all that information can get really, really important. And as I said before, I don't personally use training mode very often at all. I try to practice, even combos, I try to practice them in live games because I have a lot more fun doing that. Even, if it costs me a lot of games sometimes, which is how I've kind of pieced this one together. Now, before, as I said, here's his combo. Oops, fucking it up already. There we go. So 134 damage on his kind of bread and butter combo. Now, that's not really very high. 134, most characters have about 1,000 health, so that's a little bit over 10% of their health for a full combo. Now, you can combo into the Ultra off that as well, except that it's a 4-hit combo. So after 4 hits, your Ultra is going to scale a lot. So let's do that just kind of to test out some damage here. Oops, I am fucking this up royally. Okay. Well, normally I can land this. There we go. Now he's in the corner, so bam, 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 299 damage. Okay, so now that we've tested this combo and we realize this pulls about 299 damage even if you throw in a perfectly maxed out Ultra. That's still not very much. A lot of characters can use one EX meter and pull off over 300 damage. So with Balrog, one of his strengths and weaknesses is the use of his Ultra. His Ultra is really, really easy to combo into. Now, let's try something else real quick. That was a little high, but it should still work. Bam, bam, bam. All right. Now, if I just pull off one headbutt versus a full combo into a headbutt into the Ultra, I go from 299 to 361 damage. So I've just found a way to deal an extra 62 damage. Now, that's actually a lot easier. So if I get a counter hit with a headbutt, that's a good time to Ultra because it's just wide open. Meanwhile, if I just get one standard combo, I can pull off my 130 damage. So the other thing to learn is punishes. A lot of time, let's say, Dan whiffs a Shoryuken or something, and I go, okay, I'm going to do my little punch combo. Instead of that, let's see what happens. I said, holy fuck, I'm just bad at that today. Okay, 134. So that's what I would normally punish with. So let's try something different. And this is how you're going to want to explore with your character. Try the moves you know can cancel into specials and see what you can do. Usually some sort of 2, maybe 3 hit special will be better, or just a nice simple 4-hit combo. But 134 damage on my little bread and butter combo versus 190 on a 2-hit. Now, I feel more important doing my punch, or light punch, light kick, headbutt. Like, there's, you know, some more technical skill to it. But the game rewards you a lot better for just pulling off a medium punch, cancel into hard dash punch. And on hit, that should be safe against, I believe, most of the cast. Once again, that's kind of little technical things you can look into. But I could also cancel that medium punch into a headbutt. So, if the combo that I've been doing, the bread and butter combo, cancels into a headbutt, then I'm no worse off by canceling this medium punch into a headbutt. So 134 damage, again, on the bread and butter combo versus 170 if I use a headbutt. Now, when AE 2012 comes out, that headbutt damage goes up to 140, which makes it as good as the hard punch. But that's not important. Right now, we're learning about what's good today. So 130 damage has just been bumped up to 170 for a very, very easy very easy change. Now, the other option is, because I do 2 light punches and a light kick, let's say I just kind of lower that down a little bit. Oh, if I can not fuck it up. 130. So that light punch, that extra punch I throw in there, gives me 4 damage. That's it. That's the big change. Because of damage scaling in Street Fighter, it's really important to try and find your fastest, highest damaging combos so you can punish with that. So I've completely changed up how I punish certain moves, depending on their recovery time. If somebody does something that has really, really fast recovery, I'll still use my bread and butter combo because you need to use a jab. However, you can still just do something like a jab dash punch, which is 140. It's easy to use, but it doesn't knock them down, so the bread and butter combo is probably better for the 6 damage you'd give up on that one, depending on the situation. But you need to learn a lot of different kind of approaches to how you're going to punish somebody. So if you need that jab, you can do that. There's another thing you can do that's kind of a tight link, so if I've been fucking up my normal combo, this is going to be all sorts of brutal, but if you want to try and go for the absolute max damage, and this takes a lot of practice and skill, and this is a much more advanced thing, but alright, I'm going to probably have to do this a few times because advanced as in I'm not there yet. Oh, I landed the medium punch. Oh no, that's a light punch coming out. That's actually tricky. I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. So, light punch, medium punch, cancel into hard punch. It's, again, 180. So that lets you use the light punch you need for a punish, and it still ups your damage from 134 to 180. That's a big difference. That's, you know, about approximately 50. 50 extra damage can really add up in a game. So it's little stuff like that that you're going to really have to focus on to try and get your maximum damage output. So it's kind of important to know your special moves, your cancelables, and what combos are best. As I said, a lot of things are situational, but you want to keep adding combos to your game, which is something I've been working on lately, which originally did not go well. As you saw, I've had a lot of trouble linking that much tighter link of the medium punch than I would with most combos. So in a live match, for example, that's something I still need to put some practice into because I'll drop it and that can lose me a match right now. And dropping combos is important to kind of avoid. But understanding that that gives me a lot more max damage is kind of nice. The other thing is the medium punch goes a lot further than the light punch. So, or even, you know, the light kick. You can get more range out of your medium punch, which means that if you're spaced a little bit further away and you're not going to land the light punch, light kick because you're going to be out of range, you can go for the medium punch and kind of use that combo to hit them afterwards anyways. So you see how that one still hit, whereas the light kick would have missed in that situation. So spacing comes into play as well. It's a lot to think about on the go, and it's something that, you know, I'm slowly working into my live games, but that's why I like to practice it there as well. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing to try and up my game a little bit more. It comes down to like little nitpicky stuff like that. You need to understand the characters, you need to understand the playstyle against that specific character, you need to know what can be punished and with what, and you need to know the best thing to punish with at the time. And the top players in this game, there's a reason they've got, say, you know, 10 years of experience under their belt. And it's because in 10 years, you can learn a lot about Street Fighter. If you've been playing these games for a long time, and they've kept them very similar. I've looked into some of the older games, and a lot of the same kind of combos and things like that still exist today. So you'll learn a lot about the cast, and as you get this knowledge, Capcom kind of carries it forward through their games. So there's more to learn by all means when Street Fighter comes out, but if you've just picked up AE or you started in Super, you are way behind. So don't get too frustrated with that. You know, you got to work through it a little bit at a time and keep learning as you go. There's always going to be something new you learn or something somebody does to you that can, you know, kind of teach you something new. And then it's just about working on your links, working on your combos, and getting all that practice down. But that being said, I hope that's a good demonstration on how to do it. Just go into practice mode and just give your combos a shot and just look at the overall damage output and figure out how many frames that first hit needs to be. So if you can start with a jab, that's great, because that's basically going to be punished, or that's going to punish almost everything. There's also, you're going to need something that kind of works as a long range punish too. If they're a little bit out of range, you might need to, you know, just sweep them or do something like that instead of your best punish. You aren't always really close to them. But if you are really close to them and they screw something up and give you an opening, you want to be able to take it. For example, you know, somebody ultras into you. You want to make sure you can punish that. So it's the middle of the day today, which means I have no idea who's going to be online. So I'll just host the game and see what we can do. But I figure I'll throw in a match too, because I haven't actually played a whole lot lately. And hey, it might be kind of funny to watch me get my ass handed to me. We're going to play somebody from France. Or I believe that's... yeah, unless they've a region changed. Alright, Dhalsim. Now, as I said, matchup knowledge becomes important, and that's something that personally I'm still working on, and I'm way too new to this game to be telling you guys everything about matchup knowledge. There's some far better professional players out there that can give you way better breakdowns than I can. If you're really looking for matchup information, I'd head over to the shoryuken.com website and to their forums, then go to your specific character. I know Balrog has a great list of all of his combos and things in there, as do most characters I've tried to kind of goof around on and play. With Dhalsim, on the other hand, he's obviously a spacing character. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna try and hold me back, and I'm gonna try and work my way in. And if I can get in there, maybe once I shut up, that's bad for him. Alright, so now I've worked my way in, so I want to keep him pressed in this corner and basically down as much as I can. Alright, so I stopped the one slide out there, but... oh, you gotta grab. So he's gonna use his fireball and his standing heavy punch to kind of use his stretchy arms and push me away from as much as he can. So my job is to try and use turn punch and EX dash punches to work my way through those. That was bad of me. See, that I wasn't actually sure if the ultra would go through that or get hit by it, so... speaking of learning new things and dropping combos. See, he's gonna be able to block that. I did that way too late. But yeah, learning little timing on stuff like that is good. I know I can punch through his Dhalsim's ultra, but generally I'll still get caught by it, so it's not really a great idea to use Balrog's ultra to punish his ultra. As I said, it's important to kind of keep the pressure on. So now he's going to use this opportunity to try and escape. Or he's going to use it there to trick me out. Perfect. Balrog dominates corners and Dhalsim does not. So that was my goal, and that's kind of the matchup knowledge right there. Push him in the corner, keep him there as long as you can. You see how that kind of can work to your advantage. Once you get him there, that's when almost all my damage is coming out. And once I use my EX moves to kind of push through his stuff. Balrog Dhalsim isn't too bad a matchup for Balrog. It goes pretty well, but really good Dhalsims have kind of put me to shame. I've played some that I just couldn't touch. That guy played kind of really defensively, which let me do, or that's when I started mixing up with a lot of throws and things like that, because he seemed to show kind of a natural affinity towards blocking. So that kind of stuff comes into specific matchup too. I know the Dhalsim matchup, but I don't know that specific Dhalsim. So as you're playing somebody, try and read what they're doing. If they're doing a lot of blocking, go for a throw. If they're doing a lot of jumping, try and use an anti-air. Or if they're jumping in, use an anti-air. If they're jumping up or neutral jumping, try not to use something like on Balrog, my straight dash punch would get destroyed by that. If they're spamming a lot of focus attacks, that's when you want to start maybe mixing up an armor breaker here and there. It's still a meta game I struggle with, but I know that some really great players are amazing at reading. And once again, the more you play the game, the easier it is to read things. If if you play more and more people, you'll see more and more playstyles. And as you see more playstyles, you'll understand like, okay, this guy plays kind of like this other Dhalsim I played once upon a time, and I can punish him with this, or I can uppercut him because he's going to do neutral jumps, and if I use an EX uppercut, there's nothing you can do, and I'm going to get a hit, and then once I move my way in, and yada, yada, yada. So I kind of was trying to talk a little bit. I know I get a little bit quiet when I'm trying to focus a lot on a specific part of a match, but I was trying to explain what I was thinking as I was going. And it's really, really important to kind of keep working your way in there. I know that I can turn punch around Dhalsim's low punch or through his fireball, but if I go through the fireball, chances are he's just going to low punch me. So it's little matchup stuff like that comes in really important. And your specific character is you need to figure out that kind of stuff on your own. Unfortunately, that's kind of the problem with making Street Fighter related shows. You can't just break it down for everybody. It's it's not StarCraft. There's not 3 races. It's not that simple. There's a ton of stuff to learn, and that's why you can't pick this game up quickly, and that's kind of a problem for new players. But I guess I'm here every week, or almost every week, to give you guys some pointers, and I hope you guys are appreciating it. And as always, drop a line if you have any more questions or anything you'd like answered. Make sure you hop in training mode and check out your character's max damage combos. If you're still very new, kind of in the green stage, just keep playing. It doesn't matter if you can max punish or anything just yet. You just need to get used to the controller and inputting your attacks and things like that. So see you guys next week. There's a Facebook page for Beyond Technical. There's like the video, thumbs up shit all over the internet, whatever you guys are going to do. And I will talk to you later.